friends. Okay, so we got interrupted. Spirit apparently wanted this message to go out in two parts. So the first one we had the Nixie of Mill Pond, which was memory, and allowing yourself to allow that feeling of love and expression into your life. And the next one we see this sad little face, dark hair, blue eyes. And there's a lot going on in this card. Looks to me like there's a circus that's taking place. There's wild animals. There's somebody capturing or interesting. She's going on safari. That's what it means to me. But I see there's worlds. There's all kinds of stuff. To me, it feels like a circus. So maybe life's being a circus right now. It feels like there's, gosh, it's like a flood of animals. To me, it's like the ark when all the animals came to go into the ark, right? So the flood would be emotion. But there's a world everywhere. There's the seven wonders of the world over here. There's all kinds of beautiful things, but this one is very sad. So the message, of course, the princess who never smiled, and it's talking about healing. So we're talking about this princess, which represents a man or a woman, definitely somebody in touch with a very sensitive energy. Whoa, sorry, I'm plugged in. I couldn't move quickly, but I wanted you guys to see our little hummingbird. There she is. See her? She's been coming around a lot and drinking from all the little sources that she has, and then she's been coming up and she's been sitting quite still, taking a breather. So that's telling us, go from all your sources that you need to go. Oh, there she is again. And she's sitting on her dream, her strand of dreams. Those are the dragonfly dreams. So there she is, taking a little breath, and she's pointing down. Look at her she's literally trying to get nourishment from her dragonfly. And that's interesting. The dragonfly wants you to see past the illusions and grab the joyfulness in life. Now, I'm thinking about this message. This is why this happened. There's no mistake ever about when things go the way they do. When the readings are interrupted, there's a reason they're interrupted every single time. So for the dragonfly to be where she was trying to get her nourishment from, that's a message in itself. The dragonfly speaks about holding on to your dreams. Is there a dream that you've let go of? Pay attention to your dreams. You're getting very, very important messages and very clear messages in your dream time. They're also telling you that you don't have to do everything at once. You can grab a little bit from here and a little bit from there, but they want you to draw on all your sources. They want you to draw on all of your gifts, right? All of your intuitive abilities and the messages that Spirit's bringing to you, everything, all over the place. Get all of your message from everywhere to get your course of action. And then they want you to kind of sit down for a little bit and let yourself take a breath. You don't have to do it all at once. One step at a time, right? That's what I get from that message. There's so many messages coming from the dragonfly and from the hummingbird. The hummingbird says you will accomplish what might seem impossible to yourself and others. So this one, that's what it's speaking to, but it's also speaking to this one who's so sad. This one had the world at her feet. Freedom, luxury, everything she ever wanted, everything that her heart could possibly desire is what's in front of her. But she never smiled. She never really laughed. It was as though she didn't get any joy of anything that was in front of her. It's kind of like this one, right? Didn't allow themselves to feel. So there's that one. Even though there was all these beautiful things, why are you not happy? There's something that's making you unhappy. You've got good health, you have riches, beauty, intelligence, but you're very, very sensitive to the pain of the world. And that's what's going on right now. My girlfriend just asked me about Lily, my cat. Do you think that she's going through what she's going through because she's being affected by all of the energy, the chaotic energy that we've had with the hurricanes and the tornadoes and the fires and the floods? And absolutely she does, because she represents my twin. And he is a super sensitive, and she represents me, and I'm a super sensitive, and all empaths. So as she channels our energy, she's affected greatly by it. That's why what I do for her helps him, and it helps me. So she's getting stronger, and as we are, and as we all can, right? If we grab from all of the sweetness in life and from all of the sources that Spirit brings to us, which is what the hummingbird just symbolized for us and demonstrated for us. So because this one is so sensitive to all of the things that are going on in the world, they're very serious. It's hard for them to smile when there's so many people in pain. The story is that she had a loving father that was moved and haunted because she wasn't able to feel this joy. And he promised that whoever could make this princess smile and laugh would have wonderful rewards and would be given her hand in marriage. So many went after her, so many flocked to the castle, but no one succeeded, because she could see through them. She knew what they were after. They were valuing her for what she had, not for who she was. Gosh, my twin said to me a long time ago, you know, he had disappeared, and when he came back out of the shadows, you know, my friends had said to me, if he's so wonderful, why is he hiding? But I loved him, and I trusted him. And he stepped out right then when everyone had given up hope and all had believed that it was a lost cause and that this person was not who I thought he was. And he stepped out and he said to me, I was hiding, but I wasn't hiding anything from you. I just needed to know that you loved me for who I am and not for what I had. And what's interesting is I gave my twin that dream 3.5 years ago. And he said to me, very lucid, that sounds like me. Well, this is what's going on with this little princess. And I call Lily my princess, right? Like I said, it could be a boy or a girl, man or woman. But this one is sad because they don't trust these ones, because they're coming after her for what they can get. Right? Like, that's what my twin said to me too. And outside of the castle was a young blacksmith that was slaving, working so hard, learning their trade. An honest, good one. Muscular, which means strength of character, right? And integrity. Because we're going to represent this as a man or a woman. In this story, all intents and purposes, we're showing this one as a female. The princess is a female, and the one outside is a male. But it can be the opposite as well. So, he knew that if he could master the fire and the water, now think about it, the fire is the energy, and the water is the emotion. And the melting of this metal, his life would be worthwhile, because he would have learned to change one thing into another. And that's the gift of alchemy. That's learning your gifts. Alchemy is turning ore into gold, base metal into gold. That is the gift of true alchemy. Using your gifts, your intuitive abilities, working with the energies of yourself and your powers as well as the world. So, like for me, I'm an Aries. I have fire, right? And I have to learn how to meld that. I have to learn how to control that and channel that in a proper way, because it can be destructive. Fire can be destructive if it's, as we've seen with the fires that are sweeping through the land right now. Think about all the symbology that we're being shown in the energies that are being released right now. We were shown that this was going to happen. After the eclipse would be this great time of release. That's what's happening. The fires are raging. The water, the great wave has come, right? It's come. This wave of emotion. And the great winds, which are stirring, this is the change. But if you can use this energy and master it, like if I can use my creative and my sensual, passionate energy, control my tongue, control my anger, control my temper, move everything and use it in a place of love, and use my emotion, my words, in a place of love, I will be able to have mastered my fiery personality, right? As an Aries. Well, this is what's going on with this one outside. This one has learned to, knows that once they've learned to do this and channel this energy, they will be able to do great things. So now this one has worked very hard and is very pleased with his work. And his master put gold coins at the feet of him and said, take as much as you're worth. But being modest and knowing he still had a lot to learn, the worth, and because of what he was learning, right? He took only one coin, and then he worked for another year, improving and mastering, working hard, mastering the sword and the cup, armor and fine things. Then he earned another coin. He allows himself to earn another coin. Then he decides to explore the world. And as he walked away, there was a little tiny mouse that asked for his help. Because the little mouse was so poor, he gave him his coin. And then a little beetle stopped, and he gave the beetle his second to last coin. And then, the coin the master had given him, as his good fortune, his adventures, was finally given to a little catfish who begged for help at a well. So now he comes up to the castle and sees the princess watching him, curiously. She had the serious face, but it was so beautiful. And was shocked at this young man. As she watched, this young man looked up at her. He was the one that was shocked. He was like, wow, blown away by her. And he slipped, and he fell into the moat with the muddy banks, and it was hard for him to get up. It was slippery, and rushing to his aid came that tiny little mouse. And then the little beetle, and then the funny catfish, all seeing him, and the truth of his heart and the goodness. She watched this, how he must have treated these ones for them to come to his aid. And the corners of her mouth started to twitch.